was a question that are there any other products beyond treasury bills and bond? I think Salim answered that. There is something called real estate.
Real estate
the
investment
first answer
trust.
you gave when we began the discussion, it's called real estate
Investment trust.
investment trust. I think that's the most you can talk about in the Islamic sector. What I could advise is this. At this point, we only had experts from real estate, from banking. We didn't really go into those other sectors. Maybe you find resources around people who are doing that. For me, treasury bills, treasury bonds, I limit my mind to haram. Ikifika hapo naachana tunaye. But the idea is long term. I think real estate is long term. It's 10. You can even do 10 years, right? 5 years in those trusts. You can do long term, right? Ama it is short term. Are they short term or long term?
They are both. There is income rates and development rates.
So I think that's the closest to the idea that you're looking at. There's a message that has been said by the older team. They say upgrade. It's very relatable for me. You see, Madam Fatma amekwambia she started from earning an income of 5,000, but her age and where she is now, she's earning differently. So her children will not start from where she started from. They are likely to start not where she started from, but slightly below where she is. Are you understanding me? So if she's at Karen right now, her children who are 20 are likely to start some residential that's not there, isn't it? I think for the younger people, when you're at home, you seem to have a different lifestyle, which is slightly higher, yeah? And when you start earning your own income, the concept of downgrading is difficult. It's very difficult, yeah? But what they're saying, it's possible. Like you can come from that place up. Some things are luxuries. The 130 phone is a luxury. We've had in some instances cars are not necessary. So there's a concept of upgrading in any human being's life. Financial upgrading. Tunapanda tu utafika hata beyond Karen. You will go beyond that. But there's a concept of coming up. I think for the younger people, leaving the nest, you want to remain at the same status quo and not come up. So the concept of saving sometimes become difficult because our expenditure are at a certain point. It is possible and you can do it. So the next question is for the family. I think the two women will answer that. Is it possible to be financially stable, literate, all those, and still married? Inawezekana? Na uzae watoto na uweze kufanya hizi vitu yote?
Yote inawezekana, yeah, inawezekana. By the way, I don't live in Karen, You upgrade, yes, you upgrade, but some of us look more on where is the nearest mosque, where is it convenient to be easily move around. And a lot of people I know, people I've worked with, you know, the upper class, they bought big houses in Karen and places like that, and then, you know, big houses, and their children each have a room, you know, en suite, blah, blah, blah. Then the children all leave, you know. We become empty nesters. And then you have this huge house and you're alone with your husband. What are you going to do with it? You won't even get rent for it. So sometimes think about that as well. Abdi, I'm not, yeah? But think about, the current suburbs are not necessarily the best. And they said real estate, you will not always get that rent of 300,000. So sometimes maybe it's better to spread your assets into like 3-4 apartments where you will still make that 300,000 that you would have made from one house in Karen. So that's just by the way. In terms of the savings culture, I think we should start small. Start from your children. When your child is born, please open an account for them. When I was in Gulf, I started SASA account. I don't know what it's called in APSA or so open an account for your child, even if you put 1,000 shillings every month. Let me tell you, by the time that child reaches 18, they will have a nice little nest. And every time you have extra, just put it in there. So when they're going to university, maybe you don't have to worry about their education because you've been saving for them. and then you close that account and open a better account for them to start with. For me, as I was growing up, I wish I had listened to my mother more. My mother used to tell me, because every time a buibui comes, a new design, a new outfit, you buy. So my mom in Somali, she used to say, لعقتك كده على الكنيتة دي سنة يصير ذهبي so so stop buying these rugs, you're just buying rugs every time, and then out you buy a dirham for 20,000, you go for a wedding, you can't wear it to another wedding. So either you give it to your friend or your cousin or something. So I think you need to think about the purchases that you're making. The Instagram, a lot of young ladies here, the Instagram life, living like the Joneses, you want to have the latest phone. You get the phone, you want the latest covers, and you're changing covers every month, the screensaver and all that. Yeah, it's good to show your friends that you have, but like Sheikh said, that money, you could be saving it or investing it in something better. And your money must always work for you. Put it in something that will make money for you. Invest. I wish I had thought more like that as a young person. And so buy gold. It will always help you, I think. And then in terms of being a married person, I've been married more than 30 years. Some of you are not even 30 yet. I've always lived by I think the Islamic Muslims think like that. My money is mine, his money is ours. Yeah? Because when I left my mother's house, he took the responsibility. So he should take care of me. But today's youth, unfortunately, it's like you're going to marry a girl, you bring 50, I bring 50. Why? Yes, you can help each other, but the man should have the responsibility. If you're going to marry, for me as a mother, you should be able to take care of my daughter. I may not tell you to pay a huge dowry. I don't believe in huge dowries. And the mothers who are asking for huge dowries, you're just messing it up. I advise you not to. But he should be able to take care of her. And what she brings to the table, it's her decision whether she wants to spend it on her family or not. I did. I spent it on my family. I helped my husband to pay the fees. I helped my husband to buy assets. I helped because I wanted to. But it should not be an obligation. It should not be expected.
I've not had many yeses of any point to all of this.
The other thing is, I think Aisha asked, can you have your own money, be independent, and yet humble yourself to your husband? The only advice that my father gave me when I was leaving the house, because my father was a prominent person and I was the only daughter, so people expected me to carry myself with some, he told me, be humble. It doesn't matter how educated you are. I'm a PhD holder, my husband is a Form 4 leaver, believe it or not. There is nothing, there is that you have to be humble. You cannot show your husband that you're more educated than him, you're better than him. Even if you have your money, yes, I'm financially independent of him, but I still contribute. We still buy things together. We still grow together. So that togetherness is there. But if I wanted to keep my money for myself, I would. And I buy what I want for myself, and I can give my mother what I want. Nobody's going to ask me, what are you doing with your money? Yeah? You cannot be told, you can't give this relative who is asking you for money, you can't. That's why it's important for women to have a little money for themselves that they can give their relatives, that they can give their mother or their brother when they need it, without having to ask your husband. Imagine every time you wanted something, you have to, please give me, my mom is asking for this. So even the money that your husband gives you for the house, my advice, it may be controversial, is pay yourself first. Take an amount from that money, put it aside for yourself. If you want to buy those crisps, as Sheikh said, buy it from that money. But buy the rest of the things that are needed for the house. That's the only way. I mean, if you're a stay-at-home mom, where are you going to get money from? Where does your husband think you're going to get money from? So even husbands, you are some men here, and please go and advise your brothers, your sons, your uncles. When you're giving the wife money, think about it and say, this extra bit I'm going to put is for her to put aside. I know husbands who have told their wives to sit at home, and they pay her a salary. They pay her a salary, and some housewives are earning more than you, struggling every day going to work. They sit at home, put turmeric on their face, and enjoy themselves, watch Netflix, whatever. But they're being paid a salary. So maybe you negotiate with your future husbands or your current husbands on how they should pay you a salary. So I think I've answered that. But also, when you want something, set a goal and follow that goal. For your savings, setting a goal is important. Yeah? Because if you just say save, you will save for what? Set a goal. I want to buy X on this time. So when you set a goal, it helps you, take that route towards that goal.